Welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider, the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brywill alongside Richard Mulroney, and Coach over the weekend went out to California, played a very, very tough tournament, and played a couple of local teams out there, at least regionally local. Started off with Cal State Fullerton, a 4-1 loss. Then you played San Diego State, and that's where you were, ranked 9th in the country, a 2-0 loss to San Diego State. Yeah, very challenging. Happy with the way it turned out. Obviously not happy with the 2 losses, but learned a lot about our teams. Friday night, first 30 minutes of the Fullerton game, we played excellent. We went up on them. I thought we went out and executed our game plan. And then for some reason, after they got their first goal, we sort of fell apart. And for the next 60 minutes, we were on our heels and obviously punished us. So disappointing in that we didn't go out and compete for the full 90, because I think there was there were some points to be taken there. But having said that, I give Fullerton full credit for taking advantage of us going against a little adversity and us not responding to it. And unfortunately, ended up with a 4-1 loss. And then moving into Sunday, obviously knew San Diego State and some of their rankings are a top 10 team. The boys showed up. We competed for a full 90 minutes. I couldn't be happier about it. Unfortunately, I think not one to really complain about officiating too much, but I think the officiating was a bit poor for the fact that San Diego State came up to us afterwards, the host, and said, you know, we apologize for some of the calls. And, you know, a team from the outside looking in, you know, we got a red card and got a penalty kick called against us. Again, everybody has their good and bad days. At the end of the day, it was still a loss, a 2-0 loss, but my guys left it all on the field, and to build on that performance going into tomorrow night is a positive. So, like I said, 2 losses, never happy about it, but I think to put in a complete performance after what we did Friday, we can hang our heads held high and move forward with it. Coach, one more thing on the tournament out in California, because we touched on it last week. Anytime you get out of your region, go across the country or go way up north, or a team coming from the north to the south, you're going to see a little bit different style of sport, and in your case it's soccer. Any kind of nuances you saw about how they play compared to the teams in the Mid-South or the Southeast? Yeah, you know, there are very, very technical players, you know. Not saying that the teams we don't play here or do play aren't as technical, but the counterattack was very quick out there. It was good for us to see, because some of the higher level teams do that against us. But the way they can take care of the ball, the way they played as teams, it was less individual play than sometimes we see. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, like I said, very competitive, very just well-organized teams that we see a lot. But I would say individually, technically, it seemed like they were pretty clean on the ball and they knew exactly what they wanted to do, which, again, we'll see with some of the higher teams that we play, but don't necessarily see on a daily basis. Now, you mentioned quick turnaround Wednesday night at Micro Soccer Complex, SIU Edwardsville, out of the OVC. You play them on a regular basis, and they'll come down to Wednesday night. Yeah, I mean, another competitive match, but throwing all the records out, looking at our game last year against them, that's exactly what it was. It was a warm day playing at their place. Hopefully it's a bit cooler at our place tomorrow night. But having said that, always well organized, very disciplined on the back line, and attacking, go with speed at you. So, you know, we'll be well recovered from our trip. Obviously got back yesterday, had a session with Brad, get back at practice today. So there will be no hangover from the San Diego trip. But having said that, we'll need the full 90 minutes to put in a performance and hopefully get the result that we're looking for. That means one weekend match. That's going to be against Houston Baptist Sunday. That's going to be an evening game, 6 o'clock out of Micros. Yeah, another team that comes in, and they always have quality on their side. You know, being the only Division I team in Houston, they always get a bunch of Houston kids that can play. Well coached again, and again, another match that don't really have a lot of information on them now for the fact that we're focusing on tomorrow night, but it's a match that we're not overlooking for the fact that the following week we open up our conference play against Cincinnati. But Houston Baptist, it's a game that if you don't show up and play, you know, they could tack a home loss on you pretty quickly. You mentioned conference coming up. This is going to be the last weekend you're not playing a conference match. You'll have a few more midweek non-conference matches, but it's the last weekend before, as you mentioned, Cincinnati, and that's going to be kind of way down the line on the 24th of September. So you're going to have a bit of a break between Houston Baptist and getting into conference play. So you really want to gain that momentum this week. Totally agree. You don't want to go into that week with another loss or a loss and a tie, especially being at home. But that week will be good for us. Obviously, we haven't really had a lot of consistent practices back-to-back. Cincinnati's a tough team, and again, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But knowing last year we had a barn burner at their place, 3-3, they're going to come out guns firing, and we know points are of the essence in the conference. And
You know, obviously we'd take any points we want, whether it be a tie or a win, but we're shooting for a victory at home to start the conference off right with 3 points against a tough Cincinnati team.
All right, Coach, we'll see you out at Mike Rose Wednesday and Sunday.
Appreciate it.
That is Richard Mulroney. I'm Jeff Brightwell for the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.